Hi, it's Michael. Today's topic is structured religion is for the mind. The heart doesn't need any rituals. It is recommended to listen to the whole talk because partial listening can lead to misleading understanding of what this talk is about, incomplete understanding of what this talk is about. A positive, peaceful, benign religion can be extremely beneficial to a person, and it is said that religions, positive, peaceful religions, are beneficial to people. At the same time, they can help only to a certain level, and that's it. And there needs to be awareness of it. The purpose of a positive, peaceful religion is, or should be, to remind us that there is more to life than this physical world with its challenges and so on, and to help us, to guide us in maturing as people, which basically means maturing not only mentally, but especially spiritually. Yet in a way, religion understandably set itself into structures, into rituals, and many of these rituals are very positive, very beneficial. For example, Dr. David Hawkins has calibrated the Christian communion as an extremely positive ritual. At the same time, it is limited by the fact that it has set itself into an inflexible ritual. It can be understood why. It's not to diss it, it's not to put it down. It is beneficial, it is helpful to a certain degree. And in a way, these structured religions have stolen or shifted the spotlight from the true gemstone and casted the light, the spotlight, at a projection. And this projection is called the God as projected by the human mind. And as it is said and as it is obvious, the true gemstone, the true living word of the Creator, of the source of existence, is us, is you. You are the living word. You are the living book of the Lord, of God, of the source of life, of the Spirit, whatever you want to call it. You are the living book of it, not the Bible, not the Quran. Yes, they are positive books and helpful to a certain degree, but the spotlight should be on the gemstone, that's on the light that's inside of you, and not out there and some future promises of heaven and so on, because the heaven is in you right now. The question is how to unearth it. As it is said in highly evolved Indian spiritual texts, the average human person is like this extremely precious gemstone, priceless gemstone that is covered with mud and some other debris. So the question is how to remove the mud, how to remove the debris, and this should be ideally the task of the religion, and to some degree it little bit is. Yet if it truly would be, then this world would be at much higher level than it is now, as a lot of people in this world are religious, and as we can see, religions help, but to a certain level. And they address mainly the mind, which is understandable because the average person is driven by the mind rather than by the heart, or some combination of those two, but mostly by the mind. So the focus needs to be shifted into the heart, to the spirit. And that should be with the help of religions, for example. It doesn't have to be, but that's one of the ways. There are certain principles that have to be observed in order to spiritually evolve. Absolutely have to. There is no exception to it. These are not dogmas, these are not rituals, these are principles, or could be said natural laws. And at least some of them will be now named. First one is stop poisoning yourself, abstain from poisons. If it is said like this, you say, oh duh, of course. Yeah, but most people poison themselves. And some of these poisons are not acute, they are chronic, which means you may not see their toxicity right away. It may accumulate over time, but they are extremely dangerous, and they swamp you. They swamp you, and they keep your heart, the precious gemstone inside of you, muddied, so you are unaware of your own divinity. You are unaware of your own divinity. So the most commonly used toxins are alcohol in any amount, however infrequently it may be. Alcohol, smoking, drugs, and even medical drugs can be in this category. It can be checked with kinesiology. Coffee, pork, and there may be junk food, refined sugar, too much fructose, and all these things. Now when it comes to things like fructose and junk food, yes, a person can evolve to some degree spiritually even when eating all these chocolates and candies. It's just that it bogs down your physical system, your energy system, because these things are usually low energy things, and by introducing stress to your body, they distract your awareness. And when your awareness is distracted, you are in a way in kind of a physical survival mode. Then there is not much mood for high-level spiritual stuff, right? So that's one thing. So abstinence from toxins, first thing. Second thing, supplying your body with the nutritious foods and drinks. Well, duh, obviously. So once your body is running relatively smoothly, then you can focus on spiritual stuff better, right? It's hard to focus on spiritual stuff if you go into hospital emergency waiting rooms and are in pain and cannot sleep properly due to diseases and discomfort in the body and so on. Third thing, and all high-level spiritual schools and high-level spiritual text talks about it, meditating. Meditations are extremely important, and this channel has a video on how to silent meditate. There are other sources on the internet how to meditate. meditation is a state of no mind. Transcendental meditation is not meditation, it's a mind calming exercise. It's beneficial to a certain degree, but meditation means not using mind at all, not thinking about anything, no mantras, no imaging, no projections, going below the mind. And initially this may seem very hard. Eventually one breaks through if one is diligent and persistent enough, and certain things get to be revealed by the light of the heart as you start meditating, and some of that can seem unsettling initially, and that can be resolved by using neuro-emotional technique, NET, neuro-emotional technique. I keep on talking about this in all my talks on this YouTube channel. I am not as a practitioner of the technique, I am as a client of the technique, undertaken hundreds of hours of the technique, and can attest to it personally that if it is done with positive intention to spiritually evolve and purify, then it can get you out of the ditch back on the paved road, and can help you go along more smoothly. And the last principle mentioned in this talk is the following: it is acknowledging the source of life. Whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it God, Allah, Spirit, True Self, the Shining Self, the love within, it's acknowledging it and asking it for protection, guidance, and help in keeping you on the right track with your life, healthy and safe. Now here a caution must be applied, and here is where again religions have stolen the spotlight. Religions project this source of life, what they call God or Allah, out there. It is out there, yet it is not. There is no out there really. It's here. It's here. It's all. It's you. You are it. It is you. You are it. This is hard to explain, because when it's said you are it, then the mind immediately assumes, well, I am God. Yeah and no. You are the way you are in your center. You are God, but not the mind, not the person. It's the wholeness. And your body, your physical life, your family, it's only one of the minuscule manifestations of that, but it is all. It is the entire immensely complex existence and beyond, and you are it. It is you. And as it is said, for some practical implementation, it is in your heart or working through your heart. That's the gemstone in your heart. It is you. One of the biggest dangers, as Dr. David Hawkins has explained and has established spiritual texts like Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads explain, one of the biggest dangers to spiritual evolvement of a person is to assume duality. Me here, God or Creator there. That is extremely dangerous because it's bullshit. There is no here and there. There is only this. There is only this wholeness, and what you can observe with your physical senses is only a minuscule part of it. The mind assumes that there is me because it has physical limitations. There is nothing else attached to me, but that's only a physical projection. You can think about it as a hologram. If you imagine a person in your dream, is the person separate from your dream? Is the person separate from you? And yet ask the person, what would the person think? Is the person connected with something else, or is the person as a standalone individual? It's exactly the same. The divine mind imagines this. But the divine mind is not separate from you. The divine mind is you, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and everything. It all is one, a projection of the divine mind, which is beyond all this manifested. And when you go into meditation, then all this starts clarifying, and the light within you, which is you, starts coming to the surface more and more, and bringing more and more understanding. So asking the source of life for guidance, help, and protection is immensely important. And so you may think, why do I ask it if it's me, or if it's in me, which in a way is true. The asking is important in the sense that you show your intention, and that you keep on showing your intention. And the asking, the best way to ask is in the form of gratitude. There is an immense gratitude for being protected and guided by the source of life towards a healthy, joyful, blissful, safe, and ever-evolving life. So this life reaches full potential. Amen. Awareness, or whatever, or nothing. So this way, no duality has been created, because there has been mentioned no here, no there, no it, no me. It's just in a form of gratitude. So again, just to quickly wrap up, it is religions and religious service are and is helpful to a certain degree, but it is limited in a way, and unfortunately these 3 or 4 principles, the main principles which have been mentioned here, are not really mentioned. Abstinence from toxins, supplying the body with proper nutrition, including nutritional supplement, meditating, and eating or emotional technique care, and chiropractic care, they are synergistic together, and chiropractors are almost everywhere in North America and in many places in Europe. All these things are extremely important, and even Dr. David Hawkins has admitted, at least once mentioned it, that drinking alcohol is one of the fastest way to jump in a spiritual evolvement. Okay, so that's it for this talk. If there are any questions or comments, they can be left below this video. Wishing you a healthy and joyful life. Michael out.